Today we are mixing it up and using a skill that most people have forgotten about.
Friend. Can I hit this shrine for the points?
Turns out I also need the AP. And Blood Exchange Barbarian takes absolutely no prisoners. Yeah, we're using Blood Exchange. For a long time, Blood Exchange was all the rave. And then it just fell off the map. No one uses it anymore. And, as you're seeing here, I want to try it with 2 weapons, just to increase the total amount of hits I can get in a shorter period of time. This was my second game, using white gear. Just observe the HP bar over the course of this fight. Constantly rising. That sort of blew me away, and I do agree. You're slow, and you're going to take some initial damage, as that Bard was trying to soften me up before finishing me off with his green falchion. We were in white gear, and we had no business winning that fight. But people forget the fact that Blood Exchange even exists. No one's expecting you to be a barbarian using Blood Exchange. They just think they can out DPS trade you. This doesn't work that way. That, on top of Carnage, once you get that unlocked, which gives you 12% HP back after a kill, you're almost full HP after every fight, if you do it properly. And then you need to campfire and pray you don't run into some teamers. Once again, we just need to go all in with Blood Exchange once the rogue goes invis. This fight is a difficult one, but thankfully he had a crystal ball in his hip, which allowed me to see him. And we're still, like, our HP is looking pretty good after that fight, and we missed a few times, so switch to the 2 weapons just to finish off this rogue. Goes a little bit awry, but luckily we have a trusty backup weapon, being a Francisca axe. Perfect. Only issue was we now need to escape, and we're not that fast. Not using rage means you are at the mercy of most players' movement speed. Breaking through pretty much every door in this damn game, we try to find a portal. And what you're about to witness is a first for me on Dark and Darker. No, I'm not getting blocked by someone trying to steal the portal. And no, I'm not running into a rogue randomly in the darkness as we're trying to find a way out. But more importantly, first time I've ever gone from HR Crips down to HR Hell. And that may blow your minds because I've been making content for this game for 190 plus videos. But yes, I have never been to Crips Hell. It's never a place I enjoyed. It's just who can cheese the mobs fastest, sitting in the corners. And why would I ever sit through an entire lobby in 3s just to get there? Just didn't seem like a good use of my time as a solo player. But now, we can go there and get absolutely mauled by nightmare spiders. But essentially, it is a very valuable place to go. And with the new runes changes, there's some crazy stories about total AP coming out in the thousands on like one run down through all the levels. But yes, loot is good here. We found a unique Hoon Skull. It's very, very nice. But back to the point. Blood Exchange, Achilles Strike. The whole idea behind this was to lock them down with Achilles Strike, use my 2 weapons, and just smash the crap out of them. And as you're seeing, I've now upgraded to the Felling Axe, which I think is just such a beefier weapon. You'll see it. You get in their face, they can't get away from your swings once you tag them with Achilles Strike. And just Blood Exchange brings you all your HP back. Important tip or note, you do get HP back from the damage on Achilles Strike, and it does 1 damage when they take a step. So you're getting almost 10% every step and 10% every swing, so almost 20% sometimes in the span of a moment, really. As this Bard figured out at the end, he was doing pretty good. But we ripped the soul from his body with Blood Exchange, and he was toast. One thing I found about solo lobbies right now is that PDR Fighter is pretty popular. I haven't run into too many Rangers, but Warlocks and Wizards can be a problem because you're going to have a difficult time catching them. And really, you want to be using that Achilles Strike when you're swinging with Blood Exchange so you're getting the most value from Blood Exchange. It can be very enticing to try to launch an Achilles Strike throwing axe. It doesn't really work well. And this guy for whatever reason thought I was hacking, wall hacking, whatever you call it. He was sitting in a better lit corner than he probably anticipated or thought, and spent the next 20 to 30 seconds berating me. So, this is one of the most satisfying moments I've had in quite a while. We were getting pushed by almost every mob in the game repeatedly, pushed by zone. As you can tell, we have almost no HP. We had an unbreakable spider pot nearly ruin our run, which was horrible. It was just a cursed spider pot. I don't know. I can't explain it. But this is a cursed run. And then we run into this guy. And a good way to shut up people that claim you're hacking is just felling axe them in the face with Achilles Strike Blood Exchange. Works really, really successfully, especially against blade fighters. One thing where you can go wrong, I thought this barbarian was right on me. Like, he was ready to hit me with that felling axe, but he backed off, and I popped Blood Exchange at the wrong time. So this is just a DPS check now. I'm using the wrong weapon, have the wrong skills. His Blood Exchange is now gone. But do not use it too early. Make sure you are in Achilles Strike range. You need to get that full 8 seconds of healing. After that setback, we fight this golden-eyed beast, trying to get a few more rings or pendants to get ourselves on our way again. We were building kits so quickly with the new gear changes. Another thing to point out, you can build dexterity and agility so much faster. It fixes the barbarian's problems so quickly. Not to mention you're at over 200 and some HP if you want to start stacking vigor. Feels incredible, that 10% HP on every swing. We're using pretty cheap kits. I mean, like, very, very cheap kits. We did not enter trade. This is essentially a solo self-bound, in a way. We've done no trading, and it would be nice to have, like, green or at least a blue felling axe. It would go a long way for what we're doing. We get pushed by this mob, which is not a great start, and he hits us with a crossbow bolt. Luckily, once again, that HP gain on our first swing and Achilles Strike, proccing more heals, means we get to go campfire in a safe spot, get our HP back, and I'm pretty sure, yes, a gray campfire does give you Blood Exchange back. So it's like 20 gold a pop, and you will see the value of it in this one raid. We fight a lot of people. Missing our first swing, which cancels out our Achilles Strike, was a horrible mistake. Luckily, Blood Exchange alone was enough to win us this fight. That guy had, I think he was wearing like whites and greens. We'll see here in a moment. He was wearing pretty basic gear, but I'm using, I think, a poor or white felling axe as well. We're winning trades against PDR fighters quite consistently with this, simply because we just out-damage them, and they can't do enough damage to us quick enough. Once we get up from one campfire, I think that was our second campfire, we hear this guy close by. I accidentally popped Blood Exchange. My new mouse, I blamed it on my mouse during the stream. I fat-fingered, okay? That's just what I'm gonna blame it on, but I was completely confused. I thought this guy was right in my face, and sure enough, he's around the corner. He, truthfully, had me a little worried. Those little shanks by that rondel were starting to get a little bit concerning. But, same old story, repeats itself. Win a fight, find a corner, campfire, get Blood Exchange back, fight again, campfire, go hide in the corner. It's crazy. We did it like 3 times in this raid, eventually escaping, and kept our HP way up for each fight. And then lastly, this was like the ultimate showdown. The ultimate showdown between Plate Fighter and my Barbarian build. This guy was very good. He was sprinting, getting distance using his crossbow, and throws out some crazy blocks on my weapons. We tag him with Achilles Strike, which helps us lock him down for a few more swings. We should be using Zweihander here and trying to keep our distance, so we switch to it. This guy's just a blocking god. He blocked those 2 swings perfectly, allowing his second wind to get him back into a decent HP range. Smashing him again, he's still standing and still fighting. He knows he's getting low, but so am I. And then the fight kind of becomes this back and forth, who's going to jump in first, and we can't quite make up the distance as easily as we would be on a ranged barbarian. We very much need this guy to push us and want to fight. Unfortunately, we get into this horrible dog region, get mauled by dogs repeatedly as he's sprinting away to the other side of the map. He does return, however, and we do get to fight this guy one more time. Hearing the crossbow bolt zing by our head, we know it's him, and the fight's back on. I wanted this guy's kit so bad. We had just lost a bunch of stuff, This was going to be the moment where we made it all back. Landing our Achilles strike, getting our space, we decided to go for the one-hand weapon for a bit, and then try at the end. This is it. Just one more swing, that's all we needed. Both of us are within kill ranges. And what's he do? Starts stripping his clothing and takes off. He had to have at least had green or blue plate and a ton of meds, because this fight went on for way longer than I showed you guys. He was getting attacked by dogs, I was getting attacked by dogs. We were running back and forth, he was re-engaging. It's just absurd. I went through all my meds, went through everything I could, and still got absolutely nothing for it. But luckily, we can campfire, get blood exchange back. One final note. Yes, rangers can be a problem. I had this ranger in this doorway for what felt like an eternity, and he could just heal and peg me with arrows. Not much you can do. I really needed to hit that one throwing axe. That was my only chance to make up ground. Truthfully, it's a tough scenario, and really rangers are not something you want to be chasing around with this setup without rage. Maybe fist out, but I had a Regal Gambeson on at this point, so I was a lot slower than usual. So, that being said, after seeing all this, I do very much enjoy Blood Exchange, and I think it's better than what people are letting on, at least for solos. I found a lot of my fights were just straight up DPS trades, and I was winning them. So let me know what you think of it. Thank you all once again. I'll see you guys either live again soon or in another video. Cheers.